Guild Wars 2 balance patch preview for the November update was just showcased, featuring tons of changes and a few interesting reworks for us Rev mains. We also got a sneak peek at the new relics that are coming with the first update for Secrets of the Obscure, which are just so good. So let's just go ahead and hop right into it. Revenant saw a couple of reworks to its trait lines, hammer buffs, and a small rework to Vindicator. The Retribution trait line will now offer a source of protection when we cast our F2 ability. I can see this being really good on Renegade, as they have the lowest F2 cooldown for Revenant at about 10 seconds. Additionally, Spiritual Resolution will now activate on Legend Swap, making it more consistent. Invocation had a slight change with the Contained Temper trait. Instead of granting Fury when you disable an enemy, you will now gain energy when you break stuns. Really great change, as Revenant has plenty of access to Fury all throughout, and having more energy is always welcome. On Vindicator, we saw a rework to the major traits, all focused around the F2 skill, Energy Meld. Reaver's Curse will now reduce the cooldown of Energy Meld by 20% and enhance your next dodge. These enhancements range from increased damage on death drop to an 100% increase of healing and barrier applications. A really cool rework that I can see being used for both support and DPS on Vindicator. Energy Meld will probably slot in as a DPS key now for extra death drop damage, making DPS on Vindicator that much stronger. A really cool change that will make Vindicator that much more interactive and interesting to play. Andrew's Trust will remove the energy cost from Energy Meld and instead grant energy when used. That is a lot of energy going around, but all you need to know is that whenever you use Energy Meld, you will not be spending any energy and will instead grant some. So like how Core Rev does. So pretty much you're power creeping Core Rev while gaining endurance. This will most likely be the go-to option in the future for most PvP builds on Vindicator. Song of Arboreum will grant more endurance when Energy Meld is used, as well as sharing this benefit with allies around you. A really interesting change for support on Vindicator, but probably not enough to make it viable for PvE. I really hope we see some type of quickness or alacrity for this build in PvE, as granting allies more endurance is a cool supportive concept that we really haven't seen yet. Hammer on Revenant was buffed a ton, with increased damage for PvE across the board. The Hammer 2 skill will now start its damage at your location instead of a little ways in front of you, making it feel way less clunky to use. Hammer 4 now activates immediately and will grant Aegis and fire out a bolt on activation. Hammer 5 also saw its knockdown duration increase to 3 seconds in PvP. I'm not sure how these changes will affect Hammer overall in PvE. The weapon is still really slow, but I can see it maybe competing with Greatsword as a decent ranged option. On the topic of weapons, Shortbow got the Heart Piercer trait added onto it baseline. This means that all Shortbow skills will now pierce regardless of what elite spec you use it on. Shortbow was already a great weapon with or without piercing, so having it is just yet another buff to one of Rev's best weapons. And lastly, the Renegade got a minor trait rework, with Bold Reversal now granting resistance when using a healing skill. While this change sounds like it's minor, a lot of the traits that Bold Reversal is competing with aren't that viable, especially now with Heart Piercer losing its pierce. Resistance is always nice when running the Corruption trait line, so having that additional source is most welcome. Retribution and Corruption on Renegade will definitely be on my list when this patch drops. To round us out, we had a sneak preview at the new relics coming with the first update for Secrets of the Obscure. These are the new relics, and I just have to say, as a rolled enjoyer, these relics really pique my interest. Relic of Phoebe will be great on Revenant, as we have 2 healing skills, and removing Immobilize will be really important, especially on Vindicator. Relic of Norris is the one I'm most excited for. Throughout combat, you'll gain stacks of hunger periodically, or when ripping boons from your enemies. Once you reach 10 stacks, your character will grow larger, deal increased damage, take less damage, and convert portions of damage to healing. This relic is going to be absolutely nuts on Condi Rev for every spec, mark my words. With the power of Malix and hunger of Norris on your side, Revenant will actually feel like this sort of demonic threat that I always imagined myself being whilst playing. I really love the direction that they are taking with these new expansion relics. Having cool effects and interactions like this are such a necessary breath of fresh air when it comes to gearing up in Guild Wars 2. Overall, this patch is shaping up to be really nice for Revenant, with plenty of buffs and a super sweet Vindicator rework. The new relics are very exciting, and I cannot wait to play with them all. Let me know down below what your favorite changes and what you're looking forward to the most. This update is still weeks away, so leaving feedback is always important. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.